Located in Southside Virginia, Amelia County is known for its rich history and gem and mineral deposits. Quartz crystals and Civil War relics aren't the only things springing up from the soil, though. A diverse agricultural community raises cattle, row crops, tobacco, and tulips. In northern Amelia County, Okmulgee Dairy Farm is the oldest continually operating family-owned dairy in Virginia. Brandon Moyers says a bold new venture will grow this legacy.
Recently, a company has invested in us to utilize our manure, and this project is going to be a co-digestion project to produce renewable natural gas. Essentially, we'll be providing them with the manure. They'll be having food waste shipped in, and then they'll be mixing the food waste with the manure and producing renewable natural gas to inject into a pipeline for energy sources throughout the country.
The first of its kind in Virginia, Moyer says not only will the digester be a renewable energy source, it will also turn out-of-date groceries back into food.
So this co-digestion project, essentially using food waste that would go in a landfill, we can harness that energy to produce natural gas in conjunction with making nutrients that we can land apply, that we can grow our crops to feed our cows to produce milk.
The Moyers are no stranger to innovation, though, as they have used robotic milkers since 2022. Haw Branch, another historical Amelia farm, is being revitalized by Brendan Burke and Lillian Azevedo.
From about 1735 to 1872, Haw Branch was operated as one of the Tabb family plantations as part of about 18,000 acres here in northern Amelia County. And they produced mostly tobacco, corn, wheat, and then exported that as well through canals here at Haw Branch and Flat Creek.
In addition to the historic home and buildings, Azevedo and Burke are also reviving interest in heritage chicken breeds.
In the 19th century and earlier, there were hundreds of chicken varieties that were raised for dual purpose. That means that they were used for eggs and also for meat. And then in the mid-20th century, the Cornish cross and specific breeds of chickens were introduced that filled one or the other purpose. And so as a result, many varieties and breeds of chickens became endangered or even extinct.
Azevedo and Burke sell chicks from several different heritage breeds, as well as eggs for eating. They were excited this spring to have the first lambs in over a century in the farm's lambing shed. Although no longer grown on plantations like Haw Branch, tobacco can be found on Buck Glasscock's farm.
30 or 40 years ago, it used to be everybody had tobacco, a little patch of tobacco. But now, you name it to us in Amelia County that raise tobacco, flue tobacco.
Glasscock grows more than 45 acres of flue-cured tobacco, which is used in cigarettes. He says the difficulty of finding labor along with low prices has caused many farmers to stop production. According to the latest Census of Agriculture, there are 251 farms in Amelia County, covering 62,309 acres. The market value of crops is $15.3 million, with grains accounting for $11.8 million and tobacco earning $1.9 million. Milk brings in $7.7 million, while cattle warrant $4.8 million. Jay Griles raises beef cattle and says that strong relationships here are an asset to smaller producers.
There's really all stages of beef production in Amelia. There's cow-calf operators like me. There are folks that are buying calves and backgrounding them and raising them up to 800 or 900 pounds and then selling them in those feedlots at that weight. So the fact that there are folks working in all stages of the beef production industry helps everybody as we work together to provide the calves that folks need or provide markets for those calves.
Griles says that associations like the Amelia Area Cattlemen have bolstered cooperation in the beef sector here as well. Logan Vaughn and his family also raise beef cattle, along with corn, soybeans, and timber. Before planting corn and soybeans, though, a cover crop called vetch carpets the fields.
A lot of our fields, when I took over, we were lucky to find a field with 1% organic matter. But cover crops have gotten that organic matter up to, we've got some fields 3-4% of organic matter we've gotten in them now after 20 years of doing cover crops. We've experimented with a lot of different cover crops, but we plant a lot of vetch every year, and we're trying to capture nitrogen and make nitrogen for the following crop, even soybeans. We've been doing some experiments on growing soybeans behind vetch, and looks pretty promising so far. But definitely, with the corn behind vetch, you can definitely see the benefits of it on what our nitrogen to bushel ratios are behind the cover crop of vetch.
Vaughn says they plant the vetch in the fall using a drone, which helps reduce soil compaction. While Bridget McMillan leases some of her farm for row crops, she has found her agricultural niche with flowers.
All of the major floral holidays are in the winter, and most all of our flowers are imported from overseas because in our growing environment in Virginia, without special infrastructure, you cannot hit our floral holidays. I was determined to figure out how to do it. I think local grown is very important, but I really wanted to know how to meet the Valentine's demand, and I learned how to grow tulips hydroponically, and we were able to have flowers actually starting in January this year.
Whether it's hydroponic tulips, the tradition of tobacco, or using food waste as fertilizer, the farmers of Amelia County are committed to a thriving agricultural future. In Amelia County, Virginia, I'm Elijah Griles.